Oh, I gotta
Oh, they're sounding a little.
take that thing down there and see if I can hear the bees.
Yeah, you should be able to hear them. They're sounding a little irritable. You gotta pick that thing up, those things.
There's not any on this one. They're just on this side, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I can't see.
Those look like they need to slide though.
It goes that way. According to that, it goes that way.
Okay.
These bees sound like they're a bit ill.
These look like they just pop up.
What?
Good morning. It's me. We have a busy day this Saturday. Hugh's been working like a fiend on his truck. The floorboards were having issues. They were rotted out in spots.
Well, it's a 92 model, and the truck is really solid except for the floorboard. I had to put a couple of patches in the floorboard because the seat was rusted loose and moving around. So I took some old sheet metal I had and cut us a patch or two and sealed it up, and undercoated the bottom. We've got bee class today, so I'm not going to get to work on it much.
And we just went and picked up a package of bees, and we're getting ready to walk over and
yeah, we got to go install them. That's why I'm carrying my bee suit around. I've got to go to the barn and find me a spacer.
Okay.
And this is the first time installing a bee package, so no, I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but we'll make the best of it.
Life continues at 60 and 61 years old, almost 61 and 62. Life is still a learning curve for us. We'll see. We'll get her done. All right. Let me grab my bee suit. You can see I've almost got this flower bed cleaned out. Worked in it yesterday evening after it had cooled off a bit. So some more veggies will go in there this evening. Yay. Ryan's saying good morning. All right. Everything is turning green here. It's so, so beautiful. So beautiful. Alright. I need to dust off the back of this camera so I can see what I'm doing. There's the roof to our little well house. Hugh said he's going to reinstall it. He had to take that off.
You got your leather gloves?
I do.
Okay. Supposedly this little wooden box right here is the queen, and it's got a
little tiny box.
It's got a hole in the end of it that's sealed off kind of with a little bit of wax, and you put her in there, and then you put the bees in.
Can you see the bees?
And
can you hear the bees?
This box is heavy, so it's full of bees. And so anyhow, I got to find a little piece for my hive, and then we'll go from there. Your rhubarb is blooming, Patty.
It is. I need to clean that flower bed out too. We have some rhubarb in this abandoned flower bed. I need to clean it out so the rhubarb can come on, and I think I'm going to put hollyhock all the way up through there. All right. This part of the yard over here hasn't been mowed yet, and it's I'll just turn the cattle in on it. It's deep enough. It's deep enough for them to enjoy for a while. Alright. Close the fence back. Here we go. Look at this big, huge tree, guys. It is ginormous. The top blew out of it.
That was the Christmas tree that we had when I was 6 years old. And I'm 62, so whatever that makes it, that's how old a tree is.
It's old.
And we're thinking about cutting it because we want to put greenhouses This thing's, the top's done broke out of it once, so I'm thinking about cutting it down. I hate to because it's such a pretty tree.
But it's awful close to the
I don't want
house.
to invest the money in the greenhouse and then it fall on it.
And it's awful close to the house too.
It's leaning toward the house too.
So if it were to go, it could cause a huge
would
amount
hit
of
the house.
damage. So that one's probably going pretty soon. The cattle are saying it's Saturday. I swear I think that they actually understand all this. They have a built-in clock, a built-in calendar, and they know that Hugh always gives them their sweet feed on Saturday. So they see him over here and they're yelling at him. I think that's so funny. Spoiled little critters. This is a garden I keep telling you guys about.
Here in southern Appalachia at our elevation, we're close to 3,000 feet here in this valley, 2,800. And so, unless it's cold hardy, you don't want to put it out till after the 15th of May. You could plant potatoes right now because if potatoes come up and get frosted, they'll just come right back out.
Except you can't find any seed potatoes
Yeah,
anywhere.
seed potatoes are hurting us right now.
We've looked in numerous places, and I guess we just waited a little bit longer than the rest of the general population because they're just not to be had. All right, I'm going to turn around and give you guys a better view of that big tree we were just talking about. So you can see it's a giant, and it's awful close to the house. So yeah, I'm thinking it needs to go. And besides, right there, kind of in the shade of that tree, is where I'd really like to have my my greenhouse. And I think that tree has it's beautiful. It's been majestic for many years, but at this point it poses a real danger to the house. All right. We had a wonderful stand of bees. They were doing extraordinarily well, and the last time that Hugh checked on them and fed them early spring, he had apparently forgotten to put the weights back on top of the lid. And when he was at errands this past time, I walked over to check them, and the lid was laying in the pasture, and the bees were dead. That happens. The lady that we picked up the package of bees from this morning, she's been a beekeeper for just many decades, and she said, Hugh, don't worry about it. She says, I've done that twice myself. She says it's just something that happens, and he has just mourned the loss of these bees. And when he opened the hive up just recently, just to clean it out and get it ready for these guys, he found out how really strong they were. The whatever these things are called, I don't know the bee lingo, but whatever these things are called, they were absolutely filled with honey. So they had done a really good job building their little honey stores. So these guys will be going in, and they'll have plenty of reserves to just live off of for a while until things are really blooming well, and they can start scouting and start bringing home what they need to begin building honeycomb and developing honey. So anyway, we're kind of novices whatever at this. We're new at this. Hugh grew up around bees. His uncle and his uncles and his daddy were all beekeepers, so he was around it quite a bit growing up. But That was...
I was never allowed around the beehives because I was allergic to them. When I was a child, they caused me to swell. Now it doesn't make any difference now. And so anyhow, we're going to do what we can to preserve the pollinators.
Yeah. Hugh doesn't even like honey. I don't eat a whole lot of honey myself. But we both need to a little bit more because of the allergies. And bees are supposed to be wonderful for helping to negate some of the local allergies because of the pollen. That it's like an inoculation. It's like you're getting inoculated.
Get suited up there, sweetheart. I'm fixing to open them.
All right. I'll let you hold this thing for a minute.
Set it right here.
Wait a minute, it won't set until I open that thing up. All right, hold on a minute. Let's get everybody.
We got to get everybody suited up here. I got sick of what they call hot honey when I was a child. Which hot honey is not hot, it's just when it comes out of the hive, it's warm. It's about 90 degrees. And it was my job to cut the honey out of the frames and put it in a big dish pan, and then my grandmother would load the jars with honey. Well, about every frame I cut, I ate a strip of honey, and she kept telling me I was going to get sick. And I did. And I haven't been able to eat honey since. For 30 years, just the smell of honey would make me want to gag, but you need me to help you?
Yeah. Do that. Okay, make sure my hair's out of the way. I should have pulled it up.
Wait a minute, we ain't got you closed up good yet. All right, that's good. But we're new at this. I'm just going to do my best to follow the instructions that I was told by Kathy Taylor. She's the one that got us the bees. Patti won this crop of bees going to a bee class, and she won the door prize, which was a whatever they call this thing.
A package.
A package of bees.
This one's a package. Hey, it's hard to see out of this thing. All right, let's watch you do this.
And my understanding that you just slide this. It is hard to see out of it. Oh, I gotta.
Oh, they're sounding a little.
Take that thing down there and see if I can hear the bees.
Yeah, you should be able to hear them. They're sounding a little irritable. You gotta pick that thing up, those things.
There's not any on this one. They're just on this side, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I can't see.
Those look like they need to slide though.
It goes that way. According to that, it goes that way.
Okay.
These bees sound like they're a bit ill.
These look like they just pop up. See if you can stick your knife under and pop these up. Wait a minute, I think I remember what Kathy said. She said to slide them.
Yeah, it slides.
Yeah.
And it slides that way.
Right. See if you can slide one side and I'll slide the other. There we go.
Alright.
Alright.
This is one bunch of angry bees.
Yeah, they don't sound happy.
But they'll go to the queen. And I do know for a fact they can sting you through a single layer of blue jeans.
Alright. There's the queen. Well, not that one flying around, but in that little box.
Hard to do anything with gloves on. See, there's the queen. in there, and she has a couple of attendants in there. The queen's all the way up in the end there, and she has a couple of attendants in there with her. And I was told to put the queen in there that way.
Does she need to be slid between the rails?
No.
Just set?
That's why I got this piece here. She just goes on top.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, she's good then.
Now here they go.
She's got to take the can out. You might hear us hollering and fussing if we get stung pretty seriously. Shake. Shake.
That's food.
Oh, that's empty. Come on, guys, get off. Get off. I'll leave you here. There we go. Do we leave this with them?
Huh?
Do we leave this with them?
We can.
Where at?
I don't know.
Just lay it down in front. Do you guys hear these guys? They are literally having a cow. Alright, I'm going to put that right there because they can still get to the food on the bottom.
Did you put the drip hole at the bottom?
Yeah. You might be able to just lay that down and let them find their own way out for.
See how the bees automatically go to the queen? Now if they don't, if she's not out by tomorrow, I've got to take my knife and pop the end of that thing off. I didn't bring my brush.
Get off, guys.
So we don't want to hurt any bees.
We don't want to hurt them.
The more the merrier. And the queen releases the pheromones, so the bees will find their way into the hive.
You turned it, didn't you?
And I did something really stupid last year. This was a really strong hive of bees.
Yeah, I told them about it.
And I fed them and I put the lid on them. And I did fail to put my weights on the lid.
Let me hold that.
And so there come a big storm and it broke the lid off of it, and I lost my hive of bees. And it was a really particularly strong hive of bees. I'd been feeding them all winter. I'll put that back tomorrow. I want to give all the room I can for the bees to go in the hive.
Okay.
All right, that's it to that. That's all for that. So
lots of bees. Lots and lots.
They'll be calmed down by tomorrow.
And there's still tons and tons down in there.
They'll come out.
Come on, guys.
See if I can get a few more out of there.
I just lay them down sideways on top of that nesting box. There you go. Just let them.
Yeah, I'm not going to get them all out, so.
Yeah, they'll come. You want to grab that piece of plastic?
Yeah, because I want to save this give it to Danny for him to get my other hive in when he gets ready to get me another hive. So anyhow, that's all for that. Let's walk around and look at that cow.
Now we have a mama that is ready to have a calf, and she's. Now you just go back to your hive. We're not talking to you anymore this morning. I'm being buzzed by a honeybee.
You kind of wait till you get a pretty good distance away to take all the suit off, because a friend of mine's been helping me with them, and the last time he come over here last fall to check them, they were really aggressive, and we couldn't take our bee suits off till we actually got in the house. They chased us that far.
Yeah, there's two of them hanging around my bonnet, and I don't want to be in my bonnet.
I believe I like this suit better than I do that suit.
Well, good.
It's not as hot.
No, this one is warm. It absolutely is.
There's no animals over here, are there?
I haven't seen any.
I'm gonna close them out of here again.
Okay. Yeah, because you, especially that upper field, until you get the security around that beehive. Because we don't want them over there playing with the bees.
Go show them the water over here.
All right.
This is a spring-fed water tank, and I cleaned it the other day and put algae tablets in it to try to help with the algae, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. We've got a pretty good growth going on over here. But anyhow, it was something I bought down at the co-op, but they recommended for stock tanks. The trouble is, my stock tanks are all on big springs, and the water turns over in here about every 2 hours, so it may not do a lot of good. This was just an experiment, but for right now we're looking pretty good. But we got a pretty significant algae growth going on this upper side where the water comes in, but we'll just make the best of it.
Hey, mamas. Hey, mamas.
I gotta come out of this.
Okay. Yeah, it is a little cumbersome, isn't it?
It's not as hot as that one. Is that one will sweat you to death?
It is. When you get yours off, you can man the camera, and I'll get this one off. Go check on your mama. I'll get this stuff.
While Patties are getting unsuited, we'll go over here and see if we see that cow that I need to take a look at. And we sold a bull the other day. Old Wiggy's gone, and we sold Spot, but it worried Patty to death. Ruby Lee's got to go check Patty out. Nope, no calf yet. She's made a bag, and she could have a calf just any time. Her water's not broke yet, but it's not far away. But our farm is well blessed with water. We have water everywhere. We have 3 really good springs and a couple of wet weather springs. But we've got them all into water tanks and ponds for watering the livestock. Ruby, they had to come check you out.
She did. I petted her. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. And she's the only one. I got it. She's the only one of the females that hasn't had a calf yet.
Yeah, this will be her first calf. So we're supposed to go to Aiden's, our grandson's graduation in middle of May. And I really just can't leave her here if she hadn't had the calf before we leave. I really just cannot leave her here.
We're sure
because
hoping.
she may need a little help with the first calf, and then she may not. So, but I'm not willing to take that chance. You lose a cow-calf combination, you've lost $1,500, $2,000. So,
well,
I don't want to do that.
You lose a cow, and
she's a big pet of mine.
She is our pet. Aiden understands. We're just hoping that Ruby Lee will have had that calf before it's time for us to go. I'll be going regardless, but that's just one of the issues with owning farm animals.
We've had 2 calves born on the farm already this season. We've got 3 more to go. We've got that cow up there and that cow over there I showed you.
There's your baby.
But she's nowhere near. She probably won't have a calf probably till May or June.
trying to take a picture of that baby.
So what we'll do, we'll just take a really good look right before we need to go to Georgia, and we'll make that decision on how long it'll be. You can usually tell within a week or two.
And there's the other baby.
Sometimes they'll fool you. You don't think you've got a calf fixing to come, and you'll go get up the next morning and go look at your herd, and you'll have calves on the ground. That's what happened this time, but I was in Georgia when them other two were born.
Yeah. All right, over here we're behind the big barn, and this is.
I've got to do some work on the old big barn. It come a real hard freeze there a few years ago and broke part of the foundation out of this side of the building, but I can fix it. The rock are here. We have no shortage of rock on this farm, so I can clean that out from under that and dig the foundation a little deeper and then relay the rock in the corners. That barn is 99 years old, so I want to preserve it as best I can. It was built in 1923, and it's still a really good barn.
The rock circle over there, there used to be a silo. I think it's just a cool little space. I've threatened to put me a little hammock in there.
Well, what caused the foundation problems was this gutter when I was little. This barn was guttered when I was little, and the water run off. Well, now the water just runs off and it runs in under the foundation, especially here at this corner. And we had I guess it was 10 years ago, we had a couple of mornings that was below zero, and that lifted the foundation and cracked the rock. But we can fix it. The barn is in no danger of falling. But according to my dad, and what my grandboss brother said, that barn was built in a swamp anyhow. So
here's another view of the big pine tree. You have to look through these trees, but you can see it. And you can see it in relation to the house and how really big it is. It's a beautiful tree. But I think
looks like the bees have already calmed down a little bit.
Well, that's good. Calm bees are always a good thing.
They steal some in whatever you call that plastic thing.
Yeah, the package.
The package.
The girls across the road are going to be coming over here soon with the other sisters, and now the Iggy's not here. They were too young to be around the bull, so that's the reason we have them separated. But it'll be good for them to come over here and be with their family. And that right there, guys,
that big pile is compost.
That's a really big pile of compost.
That's a big pile of manure and hay. And I've got to finish cleaning the barn out and get it there with it, because we're going to need that when we get into a full-blown gardening season. We're going to use that for fertilizer. It's rotted down pretty good, but it'll have to be spread out and let dry, which is no big deal. Just take a little time, and
we got to figure out what to do with the pond. Who's going to make it bigger yet?
Well, I had to move some dirt.
But as you can see,
but this water in this tank is a wet weather spring, but it's been wet enough. It's run all spring. It was dry maybe for a month back in the fall and the winter.
As you can see, we've got some real
algae
problems with algae.
Somebody said we could put koi fish in it and they'd eat the algae. I don't know. I don't know anything about fish. But I am going to make it bigger, and see this wet spot up here, that's a wet weather spring. So I'm going to pipe it out I'll get me a piece of pipe and pipe it out into the pond. And then I'll cover it up and we'll make this nice and flat where we can mow it. Because I have my sawmill back now. And we've got to fence the cattle away from the sawmill, so we're going to close off this pretty sizable area. And we'll have to fix it where we can mow it, because I don't want the cows rubbing on my sawmill and damaging it.
Or trying to get in the goose pond, because that'd just be a mess.
One of them fell out of the loader bucket, Patti.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it did. Oh, well. Just throw it up in the metal. There.
And this building here needs to be cleaned out and burned.
Yeah, that was the old chicken house.
It's an old chicken house.
From many, many decades back. Looks like we're right now out of battery, guys. So I'm gonna let Pops finish up with whatever he might want to say.
Do what?
I said we're right now out of battery, so.
Yeah, we can go ahead and close it down. I appreciate you all watching. Subscribe to Aaron's channel if you would, and you'll see us occasionally. A lot of people have been making comments about they want us to start our own channel, but I don't really have the time for that, because to set up, to film and edit and everything, there's more time than I want to spend.
And besides that, we forget to take the camera with us most of the time.
That too.
Here, take these and let me go show them.
I'm rolling up twine.
Okay, I'm gonna toss that down right there. Got to show you one more shot of the happy shot this morning. Everybody ought to end their YouTube videos with a happy shot of little chickens. Hi girls. Hi girls. How are you? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. I know. Nothing sweeter than little chickens. Them baby chicken girls. Baby chicken girls, yes. Alright guys. It's good to visit with you this morning. Hugh and I enjoy talking with you. And we will see you soon. Bye-bye.